Hey, what's going on? It's me, Jordan Green Ellis.
And this is Juanita Green Ellis.
And this is Love Does Cost a Thing.
Because it costs everything.
Everything. We back at it with another episode. You already know, shout out to the one and only, our very first sponsor, the Unashamed Apparel. And we rocking it today. We are the models. We are the commercial. You can get your Unashamed Apparel at shopUnashamed.com.
Yeah.
Use the code LDCAT.
Yeah.
For a 10% discount code. Okay. Y'all done seen the title. What are we talking about today?
It just keep getting harder and harder.
Yeah. It keep getting gooder and gooder. Y'all,
better and better.
Can you tell that we are serious about people living or having thriving relationships?
Yeah.
This is what it takes.
Yeah.
This is what it requires. Let's get into it today. I had to write down the question today because it's just so good. Okay, Juanita.
Oh, wow. It's got to go first.
Do you believe? Ladies first. I'm a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
See what I'm saying to you? Okay. Do you believe that a perfect couple never fights? A happy couple, a perfect couple. Do you believe they never fight?
I would go with happy maybe because perfect is not a thing. But, I mean, no, it's not true.
So you mean to tell me all them people that we looking at and seeing?
Yes, they have disagreements.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wait, even you and I?
Even you and I.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, yo.
Oh my goodness. Yo, because people really think like it's just flowers and juices and berries all the time. It's just perfect.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about that though. Like,
hold on, wait. So the answer is yes, happy couples, stable couples do fight. Okay?
Yeah, but we don't use the word fight.
We do not. And that's exactly what I was getting ready to say, because what you call a thing is usually what it becomes.
Nah, you can't just be coming out the gate like that.
Swing it!
I thought we was about to ease into this. You just like, boop, like, wow.
We're going to drop the altitude a little bit. Okay. The second part of the question is, okay, since we recognize that healthy couples do have healthy discourse.
Yeah.
Okay? What makes it healthy versus unhealthy? Because the unhealthy is what we would consider a fight, right?
Right. So let's talk a little bit about unhealthy first.
Unhealthy first. Okay. Give me your top one. What's unhealthy?
Hitting below the belt. Below
the belt in the vulnerable areas. That's an analogy. Okay. We don't literally mean hitting. Okay.
Yeah, like degrading your partner.
Yes. Personal attacks.
Speaking to
weak
them.
Spots. Yeah. Things that they've shared with you from a place of vulnerability.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh. Saying things to intently hurt them.
Yeah.
Saying what they mama used to call them. Talk like all those personal attacks.
Yeah.
You got to watch your mouth.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Like, think about how vulnerable, like, Juanita has seen the worst of me.
Same.
The worst.
Yeah.
The absolute worst of me. And so it would be even more worse to have to relive that, especially in a discourse, right? A conversation that's heated.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the person who I've committed my life to, assuming that you're married.
Yeah.
Or a person that you are potentially, going to marry.
Yeah.
That's going to add fuel to the fire even more.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because we talked about this in one of our earlier videos of being like under the influence. And usually when we're under that influence, and in this case, probably like anger or frustration, whatever emotion, you want to call it, you're not thinking about the repercussions that are going to come from that.
Yeah.
You're just like, you're just trying to add salt to the wound. Like, you're just trying to make that person feel like how you feel. Which doesn't help you either, but that's typically like what people do, and then afterwards they don't realize how much damage they really did do by using that against them. And I love the fact that you talked about this vulnerability piece, because when we are communicating with one another, especially when we're married, like you're that person's safe space.
Yeah.
And so we say, like, we love each other unconditionally, without conditions. So I see the good, I see the bad, I see the ugly. And so it's like, how can you tell someone to come to you and trust you and be vulnerable if in those moments of contention in those moments where like you disagree, you throw that back up in front of my face, like, or throw that in my face.
So that's an absolute no.
Yeah.
We'll talk about if something actually closely aligned to that needs to be brought up, how to do it later on. Okay.
Right.
Another example of unhealthy discourse or fighting is raising your voice.
I was about to say yelling. Yeah.
Listen, calm yourself. If you feel the need to yell, to communicate, or get your point across, this is not an environment. This is not a place,
that's good.
Space, or opportunity that is going to be conducive for the health of your relationship. Now you're actually in a boxing ring. Right? There's only one thing that happens in a boxing ring. I'm trying to knock your head off.
Yeah.
You try to knock my head off. Okay? And so we got to get out of the boxing ring, or in other words, we got to get out of that environment, that actual literal space. So my encouragement would be to you, if you are the one who's more prone to yell, or if your partner points out the fact that you yell or that you are yelling, leave the space that you're in, like the actual physical room that you're in.
Give yourself some time
and go calm down.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody listening.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody listening. Watch. Even if you have something valuable to say, even if you are right, it don't matter.
Yeah.
It's the environment that's conducive for the health of your relationship. It's the environment that is conducive for the health of the conversation, the healthy discourse.
Yes. And I think oftentimes, like, and we'll talk about another piece that like would be unhealthy, but I think all of these really stem from the thought of like in the moment, like I'm just trying to get you, not from that perspective of I want to learn from this, I want to grow from this,
or I want to solve the problem.
Solve this problem. It's more of just like, I don't want to feel this anymore. So like, I'm going to make you feel this way. You know, like,
I want to make you feel like
But I was thinking, like, when you brought up yelling, I also thought about two things. I'll mention one and you'll probably mention the other. But like profanity. Calling your spouse like out of their name.
Oh yeah.
It's a no.
Yeah, no.
It's a no. I mean, you shouldn't be cussing anyway, but a lot of other words you can use, but especially towards the person that you love, and if you are married, that you do life with, like, there's no need to call that person anything other than what the Lord is.
A child of God.
The Lord has called them. And if you feel like you're getting to that point where, you know, you're having a hard time controlling yourself, just
get out of the boxing ring. Yeah.
Just be quiet, step out. You know, write some things down. I'm a writer, so like sometimes when I'm not able to communicate through words, like verbally, I will write it down first. And then that allows me to kind of get all the extra fluff out that I don't need, so that I can actually, like, you know, shoot straight.
Yeah. I will also say, I don't know what the second one was that you're talking about. Maybe we can skip that unless you want to just say it. But I thought about scripture. I think we should probably start like quoting some more scripture on the show.
Sure, whatever.
But the world has turned it and spinned it to the phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. That's a lie. Sticks and stones and words break bones, okay? They break feelings, they break hearts, they break a whole lot of stuff. And so if this is a person that you've committed to for the rest of your life, or a person that you're potentially going to commit to for the rest of your life, you want to be able to communicate in a healthy way. Bible says, Proverbs 15:1, a soft answer turns away wrath.
Yeah.
A soft answer.
Yeah.
A soft answer being how you communicate or how you say what needs to be said. You can still give an answer.
Yeah.
It just needs to be in the manner in which your partner can understand and receive.
Yeah, that's good.
Because if you're just saying it like it is. I'm just telling the truth because that's what they love to say. Okay, my friend, tell the truth.
Yeah. But you're telling it.
Hold on, wait. But say it in a way that's conducive for a result.
Yeah.
A lot of people use I'm just telling the truth as a pass to be rude. Stop being rude.
Yeah.
Come on, let's grow up a little bit. We're too old now.
Yeah, the last one before we talk a little bit about healthy discourse would be physical.
Oh yeah.
So it's never okay to put your hands on your spouse, whether you're a man to a woman or a woman to a man.
Yeah.
Let's call that out, right?
No.
Like oftentimes we say, oh no, men shouldn't put their hands on women, but women shouldn't put their hands on men either.
Oh my God.
Like it's just it degrades a person, it belittles a person, and it's almost like it's like close to spitting on somebody. It's like the ultimate disrespect to put your hands on another human. Like, no one walks around life to be handled in such a way. And if you think about kind of some of these things that we're talking about that would be like no-nos in discourse, think about like as a child, like would you want someone yelling at you? Would you want someone, harming you physically? Would you want someone harming you emotionally? If as a child you wouldn't want anybody to do those things to you, then you shouldn't be doing that to anybody, even as an adult.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about healthy discourse. So we can get off that. It was getting a little tense over there.
So one of the things Jordan always...
Real quick. Before we go into the healthy... I'm sorry.
Let's talk about healthy discourse. Actually, let's talk about something else that I want to talk about.
I'm about to lose my train of thought now. I think I was going to say... Oh, that's what I was going to say. I want you to pause and process, okay? Process how you argue. If we hit any of those unhealthy, if you one of them, you handsy, you like to cuss, you turn to the book of cuss.
You handsy.
Okay. Okay, you turn to the book cuss every once in a while. You call them out their name, the name their mama gave them. Okay, I'm talking about on the birth certificate. All right, you hitting below the belt. I want you to reflect as to why.
Yeah, what does that stem from?
Yeah, it's an indicator. You
What's
need to figure out.
you?
Yeah, there's a light on your dashboard that you need to go get checked out by a mechanic.
Stop dropping these bars like that.
All right, healthy communication.
That was so good.
Thank you.
Give me some.
All right.
Boom. All right. Healthy. So I love how Jordan phrases our conversations. Like, we don't fight, we have tough conversations.
Yeah.
And I love that because I think that when you think of fight, again, like what Jordan was saying, like, fight has like a negative connotation. Like it's not really something that you're running towards versus like a tough conversation. One, you hear the idea of a conversation, which means both point of views will be shared. Both perspectives will
Language
be shared.
Matters.
People will be listening to one another, learning from one another. But I love the fact that it is led with the word tough, because I think oftentimes like people assume that like how the title of this episode, like, oh, we're happy, we're good, we don't have any issues. And it's like, nah, things are going to get tough. Things going to get rough. But then you have a conversation, right? Like, they don't have to stay that way. And so what would you say would be your big, like, go-to for, like, navigating tough conversations in a healthy way?
Yeah, that's really good. Two things that I want to say. One of them kind of relates to unhealthy, but it's all going to tie in, okay? Y'all got faith? All right. My parents have been married for over 30 years, and I have never once, ever in my entire life, seen them argue. Not one time. I've never seen them disagree. I've never seen them have a quarrel. Not one time. Now, it's not to say that they haven't in 30 plus years of marriage. Obviously, they have. But they've developed a system to be able to do this well. One of the things that they obviously did well is that they never argued or quarreled in front of my brother or I, or myself. They never did it in front of us.
Yeah.
And so an unhealthy way to quarrel is to do it in front of people. Anybody. Your children.
Yeah.
Especially family. Especially family. Never, ever, 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 ever have a tough conversation in front of somebody else who you're not married to.
Yeah.
But especially family. Okay? Because somebody's going to pick sides. We're human. It's natural. It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
So these types of conversations, again, environment, it should be done in private. It should be done in private. Can I give a practical example from, are you sure? Okay. You're okay?
From us.
From you and I.
Sure.
It's going to be palatable. Okay?
I mean, sure.
It's going to be good. If Juanita and I need to have like a conversation and our kids are around, we'll go into the room. And now our kids are old enough to where they can open the door and they understand, they listen what's going on. We'll turn the white noise on and we'll lock the door. And we'll just have a quick conversation just to figure it out if it's that intense or if it needs to be done in that moment.
Yeah,
right?
or we'll just wait.
or we'll just wait.
Yeah.
Right? And so we've developed that muscle. But again, here's what you got to fight against. You got to fight against that urge to want to prove your point and make them feel like how you want to feel if you're offended, how you feel if you're offended. Okay? So again, the first healthy way is to create the environment, the space.
That's good.
You never do it in front of people who you're not married to, especially family, and definitely not your kids. Everything that you do
or your
teaches them.
friends.
Oh,
Some people have friends that are
especially-
family too. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
not everybody
exactly.
has like a family that they like may run to like that. Some
Sure,
people
sure.
have like best friends, you
Mhm.
know, that they've grown up with that are like their family,
Mhm.
that they may be like, girl, did you know he just did this to me?
Mhm.
Like, so
Don't do
making
that.
sure you don't share
Yeah.
that information with others.
Absolutely not. Because again, marriage is a sacred thing. Like it's actually like
Yeah.
pretty important.
And it's 2 become 1, not 5.
Not 5, 6, 7.
15.
Not with your mama, your auntie, your cousin. No,
Just 2.
it's you and your spouse.
And the Lord, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right. What's another healthy way to communicate?
I was thinking about like this may not be correct, but I was thinking like listening. Like I feel like that's one of the things I personally learned.
Yeah,
like
dive in there.
being able to hear your partner's perspective from the place of like, hey, this is how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily like, hey, you're wrong, but like, hey, you have a point of view and I have a point of view. Where's our common ground?
Right.
Because I felt like sometimes, and I'm just being vulnerable, like sometimes it would be like, oh, if you disagree from me, like, then that's a problem. Or like, I'm offended. When it's like, it doesn't need to be offense, or you don't have to like jump on defense right away.
Yeah.
Like you can actually listen, because there may be things that you miss.
It's just another lens.
Right? From like, because again, when you're offended, you're replaying your point of view over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that conversation, really what you're doing is you're opening up the table to say, I've only seen it this way. How have you seen it?
Yeah.
Or how do you see it?
So I'm going with another analogy. I'm just feeling it. I'm going to be led by the Spirit. Okay?
You're in a row today.
I'm on a roll. So when you're arguing, it's just a different point of view. It's a different perspective. Watch. This camera lens that we're shooting with right now is a 50 millimeter lens. It doesn't zoom. It's a tight shot, right? So if you look at this screen right here, it's not a lot of headspace, and it's not a lot of wide, right? It's literally my shoulder, Juanita's shoulder. You can see a little bit of the printer. You can see a little bit of the table behind us, right? But if I switch the lens, a lens that has a zoom, a wider angle, I can see more, and I can also see closer. And so when you're arguing in a healthy way, or you're having tough conversations in a healthy manner, you are willing to see from your partner's perspective, even if you don't agree.
Yes.
Because they may zoom in on something that happened in their childhood that's resurfacing as you guys are arguing.
That's good. You're learning more about them.
And you have to be willing. And so the concept of active listening is the biggest piece. I will regularly say to Juanita, whether or not it's in a tough conversation, I'll always genuinely ask her, am I missing something? This is the perspective that I have. This is literally what I see. I don't have anything else. I got 50 millimeter lens. I can only see the tight shot.
Right.
Help me see your perspective.
Yeah.
And I encourage that even when we don't agree, even when we don't see eye to eye, I encourage that within our conversations, so that we can see each other's perspective and find common ground. This doesn't mean that we'll agree or like it, but it will help us to come to a place to where we're still healthy, to where we're still moving forward, and to where we're finding a result, a solution to the problem.
Yeah, it made me think about another one. On the other side of that is being an active participant in the tough conversation. I'm just telling all my business today. But I think that one thing that I guess that I haven't seen or learned was really the importance of both of those perspectives. So not only being able to listen to your partners when you have a perspective, but being able to offer your own. And I know that sometimes that is difficult.
No, say that again, please. Please say that again. That's
not just being able to listen to your partner's perspective, but being able to offer your own perspective.
Articulate your own thoughts and
which
perspective.
Which can be difficult, because someone like me, I've learned to more internalize, and I'm not a quick processor. That's just how I'm made, right? That's how I'm wired. I'm not quick. So like in certain areas I can think quick on my feet, but when it comes to processing my emotions and being able to articulate them, I take a longer time to do that.
Yeah.
My husband is the opposite. Like he can think quick, speak quick, and he'll hit the target, right? I'm just not like that. And so I think if you are someone like me who maybe just takes a little bit more time, one, articulate that to your partner.
Yes.
Hey, I need a little more time.
Yes. Yes.
Right? I'm not just ignoring you. I'm not just shutting down. I just need a little more time to think about this.
Yes.
And not taking, the whole day to think about it, but actually being like intentional about the process that you're going to use to be able to work through those feelings so that you can communicate that to your partner. Because that's also like you're also hurting your partner when you don't give your perspective.
Yes.
Because what you're saying to them is that like, no, I'm going to refuse or keep you from seeing it a different way. And that's not fair to them, and it's not fair to you. Your voice matters, right? Your voice needs to be heard. And then your partner needs to be able to see things from your point of view, right? That's the point of two becoming one. God doesn't just want your partner to have everything right. He doesn't want just you to have everything right. He wants you guys to come together and merge like your point of views. You know what I'm saying?
That was great. I want to say that I know that this is probably going to be challenging for a lot of people, especially for the ones who may be wired a little more like me, that you're a quick processor, you can, and so my next piece of advice would be, as far as healthy communication goes, is to be willing to communicate in a way that's best for the relationship.
That's good.
Where it don't matter what your forte is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your preference is. What is best to solve the issue and keep the relationship moving forward? Mm-hmm. And so there are times where we have to text a tough conversation. And boy, oh boy, I love it so much. I'm joking. I
can't even hold you though, because
I don't mind.
I just got the most fire bars when I'm texting. Because I can think. I don't have the pressure of my husband staring at me, being like, "Get me the answer."
Yeah.
So like it just works for my processing. It doesn't happen like that all the time, but sometimes we need it.
Right, and sometimes we have to. And here's the thing: while initially I hated it, because it's just like, bro,
just talk.
Why is this taking so long? Why But I'm wired like that, and she's not. Yeah. And so it doesn't matter what my preference is when there's a problem that we have. Mm-hmm. Because two become one.
Oh, wow. What was it? Wait, what?
I messed up initially, then I corrected it. Two become one. I hope this don't mean nothing weird or demonic or nothing like that.
Just stop doing it.
I guess so. Because you know what? Like people
become one.
People be so quick. They be so quick.
Oh my God.
So be willing to yield to what's best for the group as far as communication goes. There's another thing that I don't know if it's gonna fit. Yeah, it probably won't fit. We'll talk about that another time because it's relevant. Any final closing words? I think we're done. I think that was pretty good.
I would just say, deny your flesh. What that means is, you may not always want to take that positive route. It may not be easy because we're fleshy, right? Like we're humans, and
what is that? Yeah,
when you feel hurt, you want to hurt. Like,
right.
You've heard that saying, "Hurt people," and it's really just because when people are hurt, they don't have that positive avenue, that positive way to express that hurt. Because feelings aren't bad. It's not bad to feel. Right? The Lord designed us that way to feel, but it's more of the way that we handle those feelings and the way that we express those feelings that really make the difference between someone being able to hear us and someone not being able to hear us. And I'm just speaking to whoever may be having a difficult time with being able to communicate your emotions to your spouse. Listen, man, like I'm telling you right now, you fighting them and you think they don't hear you, but it's not that they don't hear you. It's because they can't hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that they don't hear you, it's that they can't hear you. And it could be the way that you're delivering it. It could be the lack thereof. You not saying nothing. You just expecting them to be able to know how you feeling. Like if you want to be heard, like you have to package it in a way for your spouse to hear it. So it goes back to what my husband was talking about. This idea of like, listen, like if you're a quick processor and you rapid firing questions and your spouse is not, they're not hearing you.
Yep.
Right? And it's not to say that you can't be who you are, because you being a quick processor can be beneficial for this type of tough conversation. It's just more of like what will work best for your relationship, and especially in that particular moment. Yeah. You may see that slower processing spouse is having a really hard time. It's a really difficult conversation for them, right? It doesn't mean you leave it alone, but it's just like, oh, let's check the temperature. How are we doing here? Where we need to go? We need a little break. We need some water. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like...
Do we need some water?
You know what I'm saying? But,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, like, I just wanted to speak to... Because you may be like me, right? Like, where... Like, I know that I felt sometimes where, like, maybe I'm not being heard. And so you fight that, right? You hold on to your offense because you feel like you can't get it any other way, right? But you don't have to hold on to your offense. You can be heard and you can be seen and things can be changed, but you have to be able to communicate that in a way that's effective and that someone can hear it and that the both of you can work towards that common goal to solve it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway for today. In your discourse with your partner, with your spouse, the objective needs to be to solve the problem.
Yes.
Now, if you guys have feelings about each other and about the situation, right? Solve the problem and then go back to the conversation about how this made you feel.
Yeah, that's
Try not to bring all of those things up because it's just going to be a combustion of a whole bunch of things.
So just table it.
Yeah.
We're not going to skip over it and forget about you, but we're going to come back to it. Let's just solve the problem
don't wait 3 months to bring it up, though, because you don't want to be like, remember that time? And then it just start a whole nother fire.
Yeah, that's true.
Bring it back up again. Another thing is that that I think we can quickly, if you have to, get a mediator, an unbiased party. Okay, nobody in your family. Don't get
nobody in your family.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay?
Unless that person can be a mediator.
Don't do it.
That may be a person that can mediate.
Don't do it. Unbiased. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
What y'all think? Questions, comments, concerns, consternations, put them in the comments. Join the Love Bug community. There's a link in the description. And of course, if you have any donations, whatever, $1 or $1 million, for any millionaire who want to just, or billionaire who want to just bless us so we can keep making this content.
Yeah, so don't forget to like,
Cash App below,
comment, subscribe, share.
Everywhere.
Share.
But if you want to send us $1 million, don't send it through Cash App because the fees be crazy. I'll give you the banking information. Okay? You can wire it. Praise the Lord.
All right, guys. Well, we are so happy that you decided to join us. Thanks for kicking it with us, being with us today. And guess what? We're gonna catch you on the next one.
My name is Jordan,
and I'm Juanita.
And this is Love Does Cost a Thing. Peace, y'all.